What's up? What's up? What's up? Rick Paulton, Ryan Edmond, and Brewster from Brewster Vision joining us live and not on tape like the last time you were here. How's it going, brother?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
We are fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, we got comments. We got a comment at least. What do we got here? Bethany says, hey, guys. Hey, what's up, Bethany? Let's see if our comments look all fancy like DCS's. See, they changed that up. So you get the picture of the person pretty big and stuff. It's pretty sweet.
And it shows their
if they're on Facebook or YouTube,
right.
yeah,
in the corner. I like.
Or the third, cool. You can have a third thing too, which we're going to do. I tried to do.
We already got a third thing. It's right over another box.
Yeah, no, but I like a third thing to transmit the broadcast to, like Instagram or some shit.
I got it.
Maybe.
Or tiki-taki.
I don't know if we can do that. Whatever we can do. Whatever we can do.
My nieces are always like...
they're always on the tiki-taki?
They're always like, you should do like shorts on the TikTok machine because like...
Tell them to do it. Give them the fucking gimmicks and like fucking pass this out to the fucking world.
I should.
But that's why we got Brewster, because Brewster, I thought, was like half our age. Mm-hmm. He's not. He's the same age as us. So I fucked this all up.
Sorry, guys.
I'm like, cool. I got a young guy that understands the technology.
No,
because he did those magic videos on Facebook. You see him where he points and fucking shit disappears above his head and shit. I don't know how to do that.
Well, his first choice was a girl.
Definitely,
that fell through.
We needed a hot chick.
Right.
Couldn't have one.
And then he wanted a young guy.
Both of the hot chicks I know that are into horror are on the Bloody Essentials podcast
together,
and they don't have time for me. But
really?
Speaking of which,
for you,
speaking of which,
time for me.
I got this from them. I got this.
Yeah.
Bloody Essentials podcast. I'm a Patreon member, so they send me random stuff in the mail. So you should follow them if you don't already. Bloody Essentials podcast, and if you can, join their Patreon for as little as a couple dollars a month, and you'll get like I've gotten way more stuff than I paid for. Actually, I got this shot glass. Oh shit! Oh well, I'm not gonna show you the shot glass because that's
gonna fall down.
Yeah, he's gonna bail.
Everything's gonna go.
He fell already, and his arm broke.
Everything must go.
See, I got Belial and Dwayne there, and he fell the other day, and his arm broke.
How did he fall?
Like pretty much the same way he almost just fell now.
So you're
grabbing some stuff up there.
Fault.
Yeah, my fault, not the cat's fault.
He
is an asshole.
I just recorded an episode of the Bloody Essentials last week. It'll be out, I think she said July 23rd or 5th or something like that.
Kevin Ellis in the house. He got to see the greatest heavy metal band of all time and Metallica, I think twice in the last week or two.
Really?
Yeah. He hates Pantera. That's another inside joke.
I was gonna say I didn't know Slayer was there.
No shit.
If Slayer was there, I would have went to Philly too.
Yeah, he had the fucking pit tickets, the ones in the pit where the snake pit gimmick. Yeah.
Sepultura got back together with the Cavalera brothers, and they were there.
That happened not that long ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking.
I
I like Pantera, but I'm just messing with you.
St. John's, Michigan, Jason in the house. Joshua Stout in the house. All right. So shortly, we're going to be joined by the director of Destroy All Neighbors. So we got that up there. How you like the new background? That's kind of fancy, right?
Tiki went with his summer Scream vibes, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a good job. Well,
he's a beast, man. I'm telling you.
Designed this and set it up and mapped it out. And then Tiki seen it and he hated on it, and then he added, he fixed it. But whatever works.
I put like 10 minutes into that. I put like 10 minutes of work into that, man. Come on now.
Wow. It was good. It was good. But it got us here, though. Yeah, it got us to where we wanted to be.
I guess, though, he talked shit, but he did something about it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's fair.
Speaking of which, so like him telling, like, putting everything out gave Tiki the idea to do this, just like my logo. I told everybody this. I'm pointing to the logo at my cursor, but you can't see it. But it's down over there somewhere. And so I told my kid the kind of stuff I wanted for the logo, and he mapped it out and everything. But I also got that improved upon. So I'm going to show you guys early draft of this new logo we got that's going to be on T-shirts, and we will have those available. I'll let you know as soon as they're available. Where is it? I put it on here. Is this it? There it is. All right. So you can see like the improvements there, but it's, he took the basic idea we had, the basic idea I gave the kid that put it on paper, and then he took that into this, and then, the font's got to get added and everything else. But I really like that, man. I don't know what you guys think. What do you guys think about that? You like that?
My decision is the same as I texted you earlier about it. It looks nice.
Yeah. So we're gonna have that on some T-shirts and stuff. The link to come on the page.
It's definitely more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Well, the guy's a professional artist. He's done of the Dead designs. He's done T-shirts for Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair and all kind, mostly wrestling stuff.
Remember though, we're not professionals around here though. We're just top-seeded amateurs.
Top-seeded amateurs, absolutely, right. Absolutely. We might get What do they do in England when the one team sucks and they come down and we go up? Relegated? The opposite of relegated.
Delegated.
So we'd be delegated to the big leagues if we play our cards right. Probably not. No. Speaking of big leagues.
I would have still your thunder there, Rick.
Speaking of big leagues, we got Jared Crank, Red Crank from the Death Curse Society coming on our show January 19th. On that show, we are going to do an episode that we've been talking about forever, called What is Horror? And this came up because Ryan and Crank kind of have like different views of what horror is. And we were doing an episode that involved Silence of the Lambs. Mm-hmm. And Ryan, it's not horror. It's Ryan.
Best of 1991.
Is that what it was that it came up? So to Ryan, Silence of the Lambs is not horror. To HBO, it's not horror. Because when I was doing research for the episode, I'm going through all the horror movies. It's not there. All the sequels are there. It's not there. It's under drama, maybe?
Psychological thriller?
Yes, yeah. That's what So it made me think, what makes a horror movie a horror movie? Shortly after that, I seen the 100th anniversary or 75th anniversary of Wizard of Oz in the theater. And I could see horror elements in Wizard of Oz. So I got this idea to talk about what makes a horror movie, and everybody's going to have a different opinion, and we're going to kick this around, and no better guy to do it besides Red Crank and Ryan, and yourself will be here, and it should be a real fun time.
So it basically started just like many things.
Speaking of the Death Curse Society,
it started by me running my mouth.
Right, absolutely.
Now
you running your mouth and us robbing the Death Curse Society.
Let me clarify though. Silence of the Lambs is a fantastic film. It's awesome. It's just not a horror movie.
Obviously, we're going into this now. My opinion on it with that is that because of the mind game stuff he does with Clarice, and that's the main focus of the movie, with Buffalo Bill being kind of like I don't want to say an afterthought, but he's not the main focus.
For sure.
And it's more about the mind games between Hannibal and Clarice. I think that's why it would make it a horror movie.
Yeah. And to some, that would be what makes it a psychological thriller. And I think psychological thrillers have elements of horror movies in them. Just like the movie tonight that we're going to talk about with the director, Josh Forbes, Destroy All Neighbors. There's blood and gore and people getting killed, but is it a horror movie?
Horror comedy horror.
And that's the whole thing. It's all about perception.
Action, a little action.
Oh yeah, dude.
And a musical number too of some form.
Yeah, it's just got a little bit of. I love that movie, dude. I don't know how I got into it, but I seen it somewhere. We watched it, we loved it, and then Christian Calloway, who plays Augie in there, he's in one of the groups I'm in. I don't realize it's the guy from the movie, but he posts a poster or something about the movie, and I was, oh yeah, I love this movie, and then it hits me. I'm like, wait a second, you're the guy from the fucking movie, and he goes, yeah, and then he's like, we got him to come on a couple times. Yeah, he's just a really good dude. He might pop in tonight. Who knows? I think he still has the link, so who knows?
Man, he's gonna be catching up with Jared Haggerty on most appearances.
I think Tiki's got him faded, who could also pop in at any time.
JP's been on a lot too.
Yeah, they both have been on a lot.
Yeah.
So
Tiki's been on a lot more in the recent years.
Yeah,
JP started coming on earlier. Right. I don't know who's been on the show the most.
Don't know.
It's got to be Haggerty.
Ari Lehman's been on a couple times. He's been a repeat offender. Yeah, Brett Wagner's been on a couple times. We got a crew of guys that have been on a few times.
And Miguel Nunez could come on at any time.
He can. He actually can and might. It would not shock me whatsoever. Right on.
That was amazing.
So what are we at? We're at 7:10. I'm gonna shoot our guest a text to tell him that anytime he feels like popping in, he can.
Okay.
And then we will freestyle until he does so.
So I saw something pretty horrific.
Oh,
person.
yeah.
All right, yeah, let's hear this. You
We
kept
can
the
do that
suspense
before I-
long enough.
So last night, man, it was probably a little after midnight. I usually go to bed between 12 and 1, whatever. I'm just about to turn the lights off, man, and just sit back to bed. And I hear one of my cats growling, like, ugh.
Oh, all right.
Ugh. And my other cat runs over there. I'm like, oh, great. You know, they're both males, but they're very bonded like that. But they do brawl once in a while. I'm like, oh, shit, I want to go to bed. I don't want to deal with this. So I'm looking over there. The other cat isn't like super close to him. He's just watching the other one that's growling. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck, man? So I flipped the light back on. I look, he's got a mouse in his fucking mouth.
Oh.
Now, that's not unheard of. I live kind of in Stowe, like
Yeah, it's a cat. Cats,
kind of in
cats do that with mice. Yeah.
some wooded areas around there. He's killed 6 or 7 mice in the last year. It happens. But this time was different. I'm like, all right, I want him to drop the damn thing so I can throw it out and go to bed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, drop it. Growling. I grab catnip treats, his favorite. I dump them in his little bowl right there. I'm like, there you go. He goes over, sniffs at him, but he still won't drop the mouse. I'm like, what the fuck? So I lay back in bed. I'm like, I'm done dealing with you, whatever. But I'm watching because I don't want him to drop that thing on like my fresh laundry basket there. Just, you know.
Or right next to your
So I'm watching
face.
her, and it's
Don't do
actually the tote I keep all my painting supplies for painting masks in. It's
All
right.
right.
Near my bed. He jumps on it. He's staring at me with this thing hanging in there. I actually took a still photo of it because it was kind of like a crazy look he was giving me. You know what he does? He starts munching. Crunch, 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 crunch. He eats this mouth whole from head to tail.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
While-
usually they kill them. They don't usually eat them.
No, I've never seen him eat one.
I've seen them decapitate them, but they
Yeah,
usually leave the
'cause-
head and the body. They don't usually eat
Well,
them.
they like the brain because the brain is like sweet nectar to them.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
disgusting. That's
So-
almost as disgusting as the movie I was just
so
watching.
check it out.
We'll get in there.
He's munching this thing. So what do? I'm a horror guy. I pull out my phone and I start filming.
Of course. I mean, right.
Right up
We
in
need
his
that
face.
on the page.
Right up in his face. I have it. And he's munching, and about halfway through, something falls out of his mouth onto the lid. It's the head.
Of course it
He
is.
finishes eating the torso and like everything else, and then sees the head there, munches that back up, and you can hear the skull crunch, crunch, crunch. Like you can hear it, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. So yeah, he ate the thing, staring right at me, like, look what I did,
Yeah.
Daddy. I'd never seen that in person in my life.
Lorena in the house.
It was super gross, but it was super interesting because he's 13 years old, and I've had him since he was a kitten. He's never done anything like
This was Zahn?
Zahn.
All right. Okay.
My orange cat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Rebecca says, talking about my cat.
That's right. Well, when she's at my house, it's her cat.
And Lorena's not really here, she says. She's not really.
No.
She's hiding from somebody from work, probably. All right. What else was I going to talk about?
I was doing
things.
something really horror related about an hour and a half ago. I was standing in the middle of a cemetery in the pouring rain.
Yeah, you all have that.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's why I'm here tonight, because I was already on this side of town.
All right. So, did I put those pictures in here? See, I gotta give a shout out to Aaron who brought me this awesome 3D chess set.
Oh, I think it's really cool.
I put a video on the page of it, but check that out. Isn't that awesome?
It's way bigger than it looks in the pictures.
Yeah.
And the last time I said that, I got in big trouble.
It's way bigger than it looks in the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not what she said.
Usually people don't believe that line. Just a heads up.
Yeah, so Lionel, who's supposed to be watching with us tonight, because Aaron, the guy that he had make it, is supposed to be tuning in. So I wanted to give him a shout out for his awesome craftsmanship on that. It's got a 3D chess set. See, I'm a fan of the what do you call the Big Bang Theory, where they have that, and Aaron knows me better than anybody, and it's just awesome. So that was my birthday present. My birthday was actually last month, but it took a while to make the thing, obviously. And he showed up with that the other day, and it was like pretty excited. It's pretty sweet. Oh, there he is. There's Lionel. Glad you like it. No, yeah, dude, it's freaking awesome. If you have a page that our viewers can follow to check you out and check out your awesome work, post that in the comments as well. And all right. And definitely like the page, and we do all kinds of fun stuff on here. We try to anyway.
No.
Yeah.
No fun allowed.
All right. So
no jokes?
What's that?
No jokes. All right. I'll behave.
Oh, no. Yeah. Jokes are fun.
Well, Ryan just said no. I don't know who to listen to, your mom or dad.
Well,
I have to look down and figure out which is which.
Charles Sherrod, who goes live after us at 8 o'clock on the dive, says,
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory, great show until it became Friends after the 4th season.
Charles Sherrod is covering a very good movie tonight.
The Hitcher, right?
Yeah.
The Hitcher.
Rutger Hauer and Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with his show,
C. Thomas Howell.
he throws on a movie and watches it with us and then talks about the movie, and it's usually a really good time and usually picks some pretty good movies.
Now, Rutger Hauer's performance as John Ryder in that film is one of my favorite villains in cinema history. He's just so awesome.
Well, unfortunately, we'll probably run a little late tonight, so I might not be able to catch it. I might have to catch it on the replay.
I have to catch the replay too.
Because
I will, because I love that movie.
Nobody
talks about it.
We wanted to bring Brewster in solo. This was supposed to be a whole episode with Brewster and getting to know Brewster, who's going to be our third man. We're going to do a cool NWO video, but I don't know how to do that. You just imagine we did.
Or you said that in the last video.
Yeah, there he is. Tiki, who's the new handsome guy?
Hi, Pookie.
Yeah. Hey, and you're actually in this picture on the comment. Look at that.
That's his profile picture.
Yeah.
How do you get over there?
Of course it is. Tiki, who made our awesome background in our video, and when we get our new logo, he's going to be redoing the video, but I want him to keep it exactly the same, except for change out the logos, add your name to it, and stuff like that.
And put a professional sounding song.
No, the song stays. I've got the legal rights to use that from the creator.
God damn it.
While the video was playing, he was doing the vocals. I was like, the guy's singing this. If you didn't know already, he is the guy singing this.
Nice.
He's the guy that sings our intro.
It was in stereo for him.
Nice.
He was in a band called This Slim that was, you're older. You're the same age as us. You might have heard of them.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
20 years?
It was 2001 to 2006 or so.
Yeah, give or take.
It's possible we did a show together. I was in a couple bands back at that.
You were in bands?
A long time ago, yeah.
Oh, look at that. What did you do in bands?
The first band I was rhythm guitar, but after that I switched over to bass guitar.
Oh, the bass.
Yeah.
JP's a resident bass player. He's on with Core right now.
That band I always go check out, Hair Nation. Plug. The one guy, Greg, is I was in a band with him for Metal Symphony of Darkness. He's like my writer that we used to jam together. So that's how I know that band.
Hair Nation. I think they want to say they played the TikTok in Lakewood.
I don't know. They're an 80s cover band.
One of those clock bars. What's the one you used to always go to? 5 o'clock, not TikTok.
TikTok was ribs, man.
Yeah. So the 5 o'clock,
They closed.
I was there to see. They did the 5 o'clock.
No, TikTok.
Okay. I was there to see Nick Wolf Band, and I think Hair Nation was there because I think so.
It's possible. They're sponsored by Real American Beer now.
Are they?
Yep.
Right on.
Oh, the Hulk Hogan beer?
Yeah.
It's not bad, man. I'm here to tell you, if you want a regular beer tasting beer, like a regular lager, it's good.
Who wants that?
Yes, some people.
Boring people.
All right, but our guest has just joined us in the green room. In the green room, it's not green, but it's a room, and they call it a green room.
It's a room.
So I'm going to bring him on now. The director of Destroy All Neighbors, Josh.
Hey
Forbes.
guys, there is some green right there, so
Oh wait a minute! I did this gimmick. There it is. There we go. Look at it, because now all our stuff stays. Yeah,
nice.
I'm technologically the opposite of advanced. I'm technologically deficient. So
it's a new word and it starts with R, and we're supposedly allowed to say it, but
I don't think we're allowed to. I think that's a bad one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I still hear people say it in movies.
I guess. Well, you're allowed words in the movie.
Why would you watch the movie that was made after 1990?
Speaking of movies, I wanted to get you on to talk about Destroy All Neighbors. Because I seen this film right when it came out. Don't remember what drew me to it, but I just absolutely loved it. And I was telling a story before you got on. And Christian Calloway, who's Augie in there, he's been on our show a couple times. The way I met him was he posted something about the movie. And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I really love this movie. And then I'm like, wait a minute, you're the guy from the movie. And then he came about it. But yeah, he's amazing.
You forgot something.
what I
The
forget.
award-winning.
Oh yeah, the award-winning Christian Calloway, because he won an award here on our year in a review show. He
Oh, that's
won
right.
best character. He
Yeah.
beat out the cat from The Quiet Place. What else? You remember what else was in that category? The old lady from
The front
that movie,
room.
The Front Room. Yeah. So
Nice.
The front room.
oh, I liked it, man.
MESS. That was a weird one for
It
sure.
was weird, but I liked it. So, but anyway, so I'm going through your IMDb
Yeah.
as I like to do, and I seen you directed a bunch of videos, and then I seen Contracted Phase 2, and I didn't realize that was a horror movie, so I didn't watch it. Right. Then I'm listening to podcasts that you were on because I like to do that too to kind of get ideas of questions. And then that came up, and I was like, "Oh, there's a horror movie." He said, "Can I watch it real quick?" Because like this is at 5:00 tonight.
Yeah.
And I found it on Tubi, threw it on, and Jesus Christ, that might be the most disgusting movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm not saying it was bad, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but
That's a home run in my book. Yeah.
it's two movies cannot be more different.
Right.
We were saying you're the Bob Clark of this thing, You
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Which one's my Black Christmas and which one's
I don't know, man. See,
Yeah.
me, I'm definitely afraid of maggots, so that might have made it grosser or more gross, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna watch it again later, though. So I'm gonna watch the first one and then watch it.
That's up to you. That's between you and however many brain cells you have left. You don't want to. You gotta save yourself. It was a weird movie. Because the first one was kind of, I guess, sort of like a micro budget hit of some sort. And so they wanted to like cash in on it, and not really cash in, but keep that franchise going. And it was a weird one. But what's crazy is that it was produced by Boulder Light, and those guys, at the time they were pretty young, but now they just did The Companion, and they did Barbarian. And,
I love both of those.
Yeah,
Absolutely
Friendship.
love both of those.
So I don't know. Those guys are just like two young guys with a dream.
Hell
And
yeah.
but Contracted 2. It was a weird one where it was like, I feel like I had like 2 weeks from reading the script to being on set, and it was a lot of. It felt like more like maybe like what a TV job would feel like.
Mhm.
Like you're coming onto a show, like there's already an established vibe. Most of the cast is set, and but I really had a fun time sort of like, I love set pieces, and I love, big gore sequences or whatever, like whether it's pulling someone's eyeball off. That's the girl in that Anna Laurie, she's in the new Final Destination.
Okay, yeah, we've seen that. We like that a lot.
Yeah, I think
who was she in Final Destination?
I haven't watched it yet, but I think she might get her head cut off in an elevator or something, or something. And I saw some like behind the scenes video how, but anyway, I like to take credit for that. It's like I got her started in the.
Of course.
In no other conversation on Earth right now would somebody so casually just say, "Oh, I think she gets her head cut off in an elevator."
Yeah. Leah Shelton says hi.
Hi, Leah Shelton.
Hi. Okay. So I have some questions. So how did you get your start in films? Like, did you just always want to be the cliche questions? We got to start with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because my oldest kid is just graduating from 7th grade. 7th, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, dude.
Yeah.
How old is this kid? I don't know.
He has his yearbook, and so I like went and grabbed my yearbook, from high school to sort of see, what lost loves escaped me. But I was looking through, and it was like even back then, it was a lot more like I was really into comedy and wanted to like be a comedian, I guess.
Mhm.
But I was also doing filmmaking, so it's like there were all the already comments back then. But yeah, I think since the earliest I can remember, I always wanted to make movies or watch them.
Yeah, we do a good job of watching them. We haven't made any.
Yeah. Well, my uncle, it's so weird. Like my uncle ran like the rental department of like a video equipment place, and I just kick myself every day. No, I don't. I'm kicking myself that I didn't really like utilize that more. But there were a few instances like I remember in middle school I had a project where I had to do like a report on mobsters, and so I borrowed from my uncle. It was like a tape to tape editing system, and it was basically just like 5 minutes of just every violent scene from every mobster movie, like all mashed up together. It was very disturbing, but I think I got an A. So yeah. So as much as I could get my hands on stuff, like I'm so jealous of kids now, like, with their iPhones and their ticking and
all this stuff like right at their fingertips.
Yeah. Because for us, it was just such a hidden, it was like you knew one guy who had a camera, and you'd have to like wait till his dad fell asleep. And then
it was like this big.
Yeah. Exactly.
We had one.
Back then, we had to figure things out too. Now, kids just type into Google, "How do I blank?" and then there you go.
Yeah, no, we had to figure it out. We
had to learn the hard way.
We had one of those. We had one of those cameras where you put the VHS in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how far back I go.
Big
oh, dude, that thing was insane. It was like $2,000 too, or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And I don't know why we got it, but because we grew up dirt poor, but for some reason we had this stupid camera.
Right. Well, even in film school, like by the time I got out of film school, like digital editing was like starting to happen. But it was that sort of thing where it was literally like you had a tape, you had a tape you're taping onto and a tape you're taping from, and you would put in the in point and out point, and it would like play and then record, and then you got to get another clip. And it's funny because all of our projects, everybody, like you could see people learning to edit through watching their short film. Like the first 2 or 3 cuts, it's like super boring, and then by the end, it's like, okay, these guys have got it. But yeah, any chance I had to like make something, that was what I did. Yeah.
Right on, man. Right on. So you got your start in the first things you did were like music videos, though, right? And
yeah.
You did a music video for The Offspring.
Yeah,
I actually had a question about that. Did you
go ahead, Brewster?
Well, there was 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, and one involved the Clown Fight Club, right? Was that yours?
That's the one that I did. Yeah.
Okay, where did that idea come up from?
Just I don't know. Just an angel appeared to me. I don't know. The thing is like I probably for everything I pitch on, I have some idea as idiotic or violent or whatever as that, but there's never any opportunity to do it. So then when Offspring came, I don't know where the idea came from, but I was just like, oh shoot, this would be amazing. I think I'd written some like short story or a sketch about like, I just always think it's funny that clowns, like, there's got to be different types of clowns that hate each other, like everybody hates the mime, obviously, but then you've got like the juggalos, and then you've got rodeo clowns and circus clowns, and there's a oh, actually, you know what it was? I originally had written a treatment for another band, and it was about going to clown prison. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah, like somebody walking
Ringling Brothers.
Yeah, but I don't know. I love clowns. I grew up in Denver, and we had this guy. What was his name? It was Blinky the Clown, and he was like a local guy, and I got to go on there when I was a kid for my birthday. And my dad was a cop, and he would like appear on the show. So I think early on I had a big affinity for clowns.
Yeah, most people are afraid of clowns.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Yeah.
There might actually be like a underground like Fight Club of like conspiracy theory type clowns. You're revolting against one another because they don't like each other. They're different groups and factions and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at Twitter right now, I think that's happening like right now.
Because he's like, dude, really? Like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. No, we don't really get too political in here, but I'll just say, like, a couple years ago,
it's above my pay grade.
A couple years ago, I would see stuff and I would like, I'd have to research it because like this can't be real.
Yeah.
But now, no more. It's just like, yeah, I just immediately share it with people. Like, dude, look at this now. Like, yeah, it's real. Of course it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if an alien just like landed on the White House lawn, that would like be the second news story of the day.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
That's how crazy everything is.
Wow. So somebody asked a question. Well, I'm looking.
What do they call you? The library.
Oh, that's a fun story. You want me to tell you to tell?
You tell.
Okay. So we had we had Ken Sagos from Nightmare on Elm Street on here.
Dreamore, yes.
And Ryan knows a lot about a lot of stuff. There's a lot of crazy stuff, especially old stuff. So Ken is awesome because he went to Hollywood when Hitchcock was still around. Like, you know, at the end, but he was there and he knew a lot of these older people. And he's telling a story about Edith Head.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, Edith Head, but you guys wouldn't know who that is. And Ryan goes, I most certainly do know who that is. He gives him the story of who it is.
Yeah.
In case you don't know who it is, it's Alfred Hitchcock's seamstress.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know. I learned from the library.
And she's Dennis Hopper's mom too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most Academy Awards ever won by a female.
Yeah.
So and so Ken, as a joke, he goes, "Oh man, I'm gonna call you the library. You know everything."
That's some other stuff too later. Yeah. That was just the first little tidbit.
Yeah.
So that's why we just put it in there.
That's good. I like that.
But yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Tiki says he owes Cleveland Public Library a lot of money, so we just check out things through him now. The library.
See, now if somebody tweets that, then you want to believe it.
There you go. That's true. Yeah.
So, let's see.
I don't really care about nicknames, but a Dream Warrior gave me a nickname. I'm use it.
Right.
Yeah, you topped me.
Pretty cool. So,
I always wanted a nickname. I never got one. I had one. It was called Scoot. A kid called me Scooter for a while, but
it didn't stick.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
I don't know, Brewster. Is that a nickname or is that your government name? I don't even know.
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
Okay, there you go. Like on his profile, it says Brewster. He's so cool because it's obviously from Fright Night. I didn't realize that. We live in Cleveland, which has a lot of Eastern European people. So I thought his name was Brewster. He's so cool. Team or something. It took me a month to figure it out. And then, like, I'm sitting there one day at work, and I'm like, oh.
So now you know which one of us is the library and which one isn't.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, last year I was doing Fright Night as my weekly theme, and I was rewatching it with my old man, and when what's her name? Amy throws the burger in Charlie's face and Evil laughs and says, "You're so cool, Brewster." My dad paused the remote, looked over me and went, "He's so cool." I'm like, now you get it. So it took him he got it.
Leah says,
"Hey,
I'm not the only one." Okay. So with let's see. In Texas Chainsaw, the inspiration for it was Toby Hooper was shopping at a mall and was by the chainsaws and just wanted to kill everybody, right? Because how busy the store was around Christmas. What was the inspiration for Destroy All Neighbors?
Well, so I lived in kind of a shitty apartment in what they called Little Armenia. It's like the east side of Hollywood. And yeah, I had a neighbor who was just, the neighbor from hell. Like he was like in his 30s or something. He lived with his parents, but you would just hear pounding in the hallway. And then you'd look out, and this dude would be so drunk he would just be like jamming his key into the door. And so you'd like peek out, and then like he would open it, and but he was terrifying. Like when I had my first kid, as a baby, you'd hear him screaming through the wall, like, shut your fucking baby up. I'm going to kill your baby and stuff. You know?
Oh,
wow.
And so it's like you get this sort of thing of like, oh, what do I, you know, what are the rules here? What's the protocol?
Yeah.
You know, like, do I go talk to him? Is that going to make him angry, more angry? Do I just, you know, cower in fear, or do I, you know, and so I was talking to my buddy Charlie about this, and he was like, oh, well, I got one even better. And he was telling me about his neighbor, and he has this crazy neighbor who has these late parties and like would like walk around in like a tank top and like tell him to like grab his arm, like, hey, feel my muscles, Charlie, feel my muscles, or whatever. Like, and so I was like, dude, this is there's a movie in here somewhere, you know.
right.
Mostly because I would lay in bed, not unlike Toby Hooper, I would just think of ways of killing my neighbor. Like, I'm gonna sneak in and like wrap a cable around his neck and then like attach it to a car. I have these like very Rube Goldberg ideas.
Oh, I love Rube Goldberg devices.
You know, and so we started sort of batting the idea around, and I was like, you know, I started thinking about like a Telltale Heart, and you know, this idea of like, you know, what would happen if you did kill somebody, and like how would you try to get away with it, and that sort of thing. And you know, so much of the idea to me too was just like, it's got to be hard to like in movies, like killing people seems very easy most of the time, but like, you know, I mean, Dexter makes it look easy, but it's like, you know, especially too, like the idea initially, I mean, Alex is not the tallest person. Originally, the idea was like a real beast of a guy, you know. So the idea was too was like, you know, you kill this giant, then what do you do? Like, you know, you're gonna like throw your back out trying to pull him into the bathtub and stuff. Like, so I just find that stuff endlessly hilarious. I don't know why.
I think it worked out better with Alex being short and, well, he's not really bad, you know, it's an effect, but like just that character is just, Vlad is just something else, man.
Yeah.
See, Patricia says, Destroy All Neighbors had a lot of practical effects. What was the most difficult scene to do?
Let's see. I think, I mean, one that took a lot of leading up to it was like there's the moment when he gets barfed on in the dream sequence, and that was difficult in terms of like, you know, we had a guy back in the lab back at Gabe's studios with like a big tube and like different types of liquids, and he'd put it in and like pull a thing, you know, and sometimes it would get stuck, and then he'd like send another one, it would be too liquidy. So that was one of those things where it was like, okay, we know we only have really one shot at this. I mean, you know, we could clean them up, but it's like it'll take forever. We had no money and no time. So that was a tricky one. The barf.
Right on. And so Gabriel Bartolos, he did the makeup, so a lot of the makeups and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he was on Basket Case 2 and 3 and Leprechaun. Yeah, I didn't know that until today.
Frankenhooker.
Yeah, all that good shit, Brewster type stuff.
Yeah, and his own movies.
Oh yeah, we had to get a guy like that on here, man.
So like Tiki type stuff.
Yeah, the Tiki type stuff. Yeah, but
and Gabe's made some movies that are bananas too, like one called Skin Deep, and then one called Saint Bernard. They're like so freaking weird.
Was that Skin Deep one with the guy who had the bear trap mouth kind of thing?
Yeah.
I remember that one.
See, and that's why we need this guy, because he knows stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm a huge fan of Basket Case, the original, which I was just showing my Dwayne. I'll get him down again. My you were.
I have my little Basket Case right here.
So I got my Dwayne in Belial.
Oh right.
Look at that. Nice. Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah. The original is my favorite, but the second and the third one, the effects were so much better. Obviously,
right?
You know, I think the budget on the first one was like $3.85.
Right. You know? Well, and you know what really drew me to that or to Gabe is just his the character designs, like because all of those characters, like the weird moon face guy with the big teeth and like a rat person, like all of those characters he sculpted.
Yeah, it's insane.
And so yeah, my buddy Charlie, who was a writer on the movie, he also worked for Gabe, like as an intern, or he worked in a shop. And Gabe was just the freaking best, man. It's so funny because like he looks very intimidating. He's got to be like 6'4" or something, like bald head. Like it looks like if Anton LaVey was like a professional wrestler. And you go into his office, his studio, and there's just all these like gargoyles and all this crazy stuff. But he could not be a sweeter guy, and like he was just so down to clown. He was just down to play. That was fun. I mean, I would say to answer the earlier question of what was difficult with practical effects, like so much of what's difficult is just like the pre-planning. Like, okay, we want this head to be there, but it's going to be on a couch. Like, how do we do it without just doing a green screen bit? Like, okay, or how is this going to move? And so there's a lot of me and Gabe, running around in his studio, like, like crawling around, and it was like being kids.
Right on. So, for this movie, like there was a lot of great special effects and practical effects, which we love, and I mean, like everything, and you had some decent named actors in it and everything. Like what was the budget on this movie? Do you know?
I think we're not supposed to say, but it was like under $2 million.
Okay.
So
it seems like there was a decent amount of money put either there was a decent amount of money put into it, or you guys really know how to get the best out of the least,
or both.
A
little bit of both. I mean, we shot it in LA, which I mean, as I'm assuming you guys are already hearing in the news, like it's a big thing in the news of just like nobody shoots movies in LA anymore.
Yeah,
a lot of people in Cleveland. A lot of movies are Superman shot here.
Yeah,
and so but we. For better or for worse, we did shoot it in LA, but I don't want to say that it suffered for that, but we had to, we probably would have been able to stretch the dollar a little bit further, but then maybe we wouldn't have been able to get the same, friends to show up, to do cameos like Kumail or, Tom Lennon or John Daly or something like that.
I mean, you had some pretty decent actors in it. You had Randy Heller from the Karate Kid. That was awesome seeing her in it.
Yeah, she's so great.
Paul, and Alex Winter. Yeah, it was a pretty decent cast.
Yeah.
How'd you get Alex Winter out there? He doesn't do a whole lot of acting these days. I think he's
more of a producer, isn't he?
Right. He directs a lot of documentaries.
Yeah, I saw the one he did for Bitcoin, Deep Web or Dark Web or something.
Yeah, he's such a. I mean, he's one of those guys I've loved. I mean, obviously, I loved him in like Bill and Ted and all that, but like when I really fell in love with him was when I found out that he was directing. Like he had directed commercials and he was doing these documentaries, and I just, as through my 20s or whatever, I would just keep tabs with his career because I'm just like this guy's not like a flash in the pan. He's in it for the long term, and he has ideas, and he's smart and whatever. Cool. So anyway, I was working with
Tiki.
What's that?
Oh, he mentioned a movie. I was wondering if I was the only one who saw it. It was called Freak.
Remaster coming soon.
And so Freaked was a huge inspiration for this movie and just for me in my life. And so I was meeting up with Jonah. Like we got the script to Jonah. He's a friend, and we were developing it, just trying to figure out like how do we get this thing made? Who do we take it to? And we were in an office here in South Pasadena, and right across the alleyway was Alex's office. And so we would just sort of daydream about like, man, if we could just get it, like if he could just sort of sprinkle some of that Freaked powder or whatever it is, like just give us your blessing or something. And we sent him the script, and he's like, this is awesome. Like, what do you want from me? And I was like, well, we'd love to have you, on as a producer, or, I mean, if you want to play Vlad. And he was like, that sounds amazing. He's like, I love performing in prosthetics, and
Like said nobody else ever.
Right. Exactly. Right.
How long did it take to get him in that gimmick?
I feel like it was maybe like 4 or 5 hours or something.
I know, dude. Yeah, because it's a ton.
How much to get out? Another hour or two?
I think it was quicker to get out, but yeah, I think
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that he actually likes it. No, anybody else we talk to, like, that's the worst experience.
It sounds awful.
I think he just likes he's such a he's a very theatrical guy. Like, I think he likes the acting challenge of it. Oh, and we had another big name in the mix is Bill Corso, who did so Gabe sculpted everything, and then Bill did the applying and the painting. Bill he kept saying the movie he did before. He's like, oh, I was just on this indie movie, and then I figured out that he was actually talking about Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah,
Indiana.
Like, well, when I was on Indie, and I'm like, oh, cool. What was it? He's like, no, Indiana Jones 5 or whatever it was. I mean, he's won an Academy Award for I think Lemony Snicket or something like.
Oh wow, yeah. That's a good movie. I really like that.
Yeah, just such a. I mean, the whole movie. I mean, I hope it comes across on screen. I think it does. It was just like so much fun to make, but also it was made like it was kind of designed for like you three guys. Like that was, Yeah,
it was definitely like the most fun movie I seen for sure last year. I absolutely loved it. I've seen it like 10 times already. I ordered the 4K, which is why I reached out to you, because the 4K is coming out. You
got to check the commentary we recorded. I kind of went crazy with it because it's like, I feel like there's like, I don't know, 6 or 7. There's a lot.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I love
it. To me, I'm like, why doesn't every movie have that? Because it's like, it just takes an hour and a half and now you have a whole new piece of content. Yeah. But we had one, we have one with Tom Lennon and John Daly. Tom Lennon from Reno 911.
Yeah.
I'm a huge
I couldn't remember his name, but I remember him from the movie. Yeah.
I benefited him since The State. I love
that show. Absolutely.
State. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
he was had another breakout guy on there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and then we had another one where I did one with Gabe, so we talked through all the effects, and then we had the one that's like most precious to me. At the end of the movie, there's like the police captain is this guy named Phil Hendry, and Phil Hendry is kind of this legendary LA radio guy who it doesn't even make sense anymore to kids these days, but he's a talk radio guy, and he would make up characters. He would basically have like these characters he would talk to, but he would do both voices, and people would call up and get really angry, because they would whatever. We should give kids glass for Halloween or something. I don't know, whatever. Like just dumb shit, and then people call up and go, "I can't believe you're doing this," and then he would do both voices. Anyway, so he plays the captain in our movie, and he recorded a commentary track as himself and his characters. So
that's pretty cool.
As he's watching it, he's getting the names wrong, and then like, oh well, there, like these other little voices pop in, and
that sounds great.
Patricia got me to laugh out loud at that comment.
Yeah.
Only a fan of The State would understand that. So.
Oh, okay. That's what she was talking.
Yeah.
I also call her that. That's why I didn't know she's seen Michaela doing a run-in. No. Okay. I was going to ask her. I knew it was either about what you guys were talking about or it was about my daughter.
I didn't see the comment. Was it about dipping your balls?
Pudding. Oh, yeah. My daughter just ran me a soda, too, and that's what I call her. So that's why I didn't know what she was going with.
Nothing to do with that.
All right.
It has something to do with $240 worth of.
Okay. I'm not familiar.
The glass for Halloween candy, wasn't that an episode of Consumer Probe on Saturday Night Live back in the 80s?
Yeah. I mean that was that was the reference I was like pulling from, but it was basically like that.
I was just curious if I was the only one who knew that reference is all.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. It didn't come
deep pools like that.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. He would yeah. I mean, I remember he had one that was like there's one called Plane Go Boom that makes me laugh so hard, and it's not very appropriate, but it's like he's talking to a guy who runs security at the airport, and in order to save money they're bringing in mentally challenged people to help, sniff out the bombs and stuff. And so, and so then he's on there just like, oh, this is terrible. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you're doing this. And then, the guy gets it wrong and his handler starts tasing him. And, the guy's like, anyway.
So yeah, I ordered the 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. I suggest everybody do the same thing. And they had a combo where you can get it with the soundtrack, but it's sold out already. I was upset about that.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Right. I did get the
congressman.
Yeah. I got the slipcover, the one with the deluxe version of the Blu-ray or the 4K.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't get the soundtrack. I have a record player now and I listen to records on it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. I bought a record player too, just for that reason,
For that?
The soundtrack is really fucking good. I don't know if I can swear. Maybe
you go ahead, man.
But like the soundtrack is really good. Like when you're listening to it, like stripped away from all the sounds for the movies, like it's its own thing, and it really, I mean, it's one of those things that like I'll listen to it and I'll forget that it's for my movie, and I'll be like I'll get jealous. I'll be like, in my head, I'm like, oh man, this would be so good for a movie. And I'm like, oh wait.
Oh yeah, I had that idea already.
Yeah. But again, that was kind of the idea through the whole thing, where I was like, I want to make something that if I saw it, I would be so mad and jealous.
Yeah.
Like, tells that you didn't think of it.
How come I didn't make that movie?
Yeah, dude, it's so today to find anything original, and man, was it ever original?
I once heard another filmmaker say that, like, he knows a film is really good when he gets jealous just watching it.
Yeah, right.
Fuck, I wish I could have made it.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny, I always think of like, I feel like it's Guillermo del Toro talks about like, you got to be, be yourself. Everybody else is taken. I don't know. I'm sure somebody else said that as well. Yeah. But just this idea of like, that was always, I feel like that was when things started to click for me, was when I was like, I'm just going to really lean into all the dumb shit that I like and the weird, which is where the Clown Fight Club comes from. It's just like, let's just, all I do is watch like shitty movies on Tubi and, just trash. I'm like, let's just make that. Sometimes I succeed, especially if you look at the 1-star comments on Contracted Phase 2.
Dude, yeah, I got to go back and watch it again to like, get the idea of what's going on, because I had it on here while I was taking notes. But I seen that the gore is just insane. It's honestly the most disgusting movie I think I've ever seen, but which could be a good thing.
See, I got a lot of respect for Josh saying that, because a lot of filmmakers won't admit they go back and look at the comments, but they all do.
Oh,
you
yeah.
won't admit it. You just admitted that you do.
I shouldn't. Yeah. Because comments are weird too on Letterboxd, because like a lot of for Destroy All Neighbors, it was like, oh man, this movie's my new favorite movie, 3 stars.
Yeah.
It was your favorite movie. Why isn't it 5?
And but I do understand, from the viewer's perspective of like, well, no, 5 is going to be for like Evil Dead, or I don't know.
Wow, 5 is a 5.
The Shawshank Redemption is like
right.
But you know how you have your A+ for each sub genre.
Yes.
So this should still be an A+ because in horror comedy.
That's true.
It's right. It's up there with the Evil Deads of the world. And I think it is.
When we do reviews, we do letter grades, and I have like, every subgenre has its
every
own
slasher. There's only one A+, there's one F-,
and then
anything in between, because like only one could be the best. But no, I mean,
like there can only be one 1978 Halloween and one Jason Goes to Hell, and everything else is in the middle.
His opinion. The words and opinions expressed here and there, or whatever.
Well, it's funny to say too about that. Like, that was the idea of doing a horror comedy. I mean, it's like, I think I'm unable to do anything else. But aside from that, like I wanted to make something that would fit on that shelf of the other movies that I love, right? Like, so, like maybe, I want my movie to be, maybe the shelf below Freaked and, Shaun of the Dead, or all those like horror
No, it can hang with all of those, man.
Yeah.
It really is. It's fucking amazing.
Thanks.
I have no I usually you can pick stuff apart and find this is wrong, that is wrong. There's nothing wrong with this movie.
Horror comedy is really taking off this year too. Well,
this was last year.
I know
he had a head start.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I was ahead of my time.
This year, they 2 or 3 of the first horror films I saw this year were like comedies too. Like Hard Eyes was very comedic, so was The Monkey.
Yeah,
The Monkey.
Right. Yeah, or even The Substance is is definitely
there's some horror comedy elements.
Even leaning into the prosthetic sort of stuff.
I love The Substance. Did you dig that?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my god!
I was hoping you wouldn't ask.
I
No, but
I should bring it up then. You brought it up. We didn't.
I know. I was.
No,
I went too far. I mean, I've seen clips and stuff. I feel like I've seen it.
It's like it's in the same vein as your film and like Evil Dead and like Basket Case. It's just bonkers.
I see him always a Cronenberg
in the best way.
Yeah.
I
got that same feel too.
A Cronenberg movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got
parts
parts
like a Looney Tunes Cronenberg or something.
Yes.
Well, his did have some kind of comedic elements to it, not like laugh out loud funny comedy horror, but just like if you look in the deeper picture of the premise of his movies, like The Flyer or Videodrome and shit, like
Videodrome has a lot of humor in it.
Yeah, because he's always looking for the new hot thing on TV and stuff,
Right. Yeah. I attribute a lot of the success of the movie, or I don't know if it's success, but just a lot of what's good about it is the script. And to do a humble brag, I guess it's not even the humble part. Dan Harmon saw the movie. Dan Harmon of
Aqua Teen?
No,
that's a different guy.
Freaking Rick and Morty and
wait a minute, you sure it's not the same guy?
No. And I'm blinking on it. It's the school one where they're in school, whatever. Anyway, Dan Harmon saw it and he liked it, and he's like, "This is your masterpiece." And so I was like, "All right, I'm holding on to that." So whenever I look on Letterboxd and I see somebody like the script sucks, I'm like, Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon likes it.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my Letterboxd, and I had this thing like deleted forever, so I don't even know if I ever rated this movie.
That's funny.
I have
an account that I thought was like a hidden account.
I rated it 5 stars. See?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I have an account that I thought was like a ghost account or something, so I could talk shit. I don't know if I talked too much shit, but
Jared Craig, who's in the comments, was not as nice as me.
Oh, really? Let me see.
Oh no!
Let me see. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah,
what is it? I can't see your comments.
Oh, he's in the because you don't see him unless I put him up here, like. So.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I guess you might be able to see him if you're on a computer. Are you on a computer or your phone?
I am. It would probably be bad if I was just.
No. There's everything's cool. He likes like the more high class films.
Yeah. He and I have very similar tastes.
He's we got a thing that if a movie's crank as fuck, that's like Mike Flanagan's his favorite director, and like he likes the more upper class elevated horror. That's what they call it. Sure. That's it.
Yeah,
I like some of that too.
I call it cello horror.
Put that up. You doing production?
Oh, we thought you went back to the movie. He was in between movies a minute ago. I thought he went back to the theater.
What happened to your double feature?
Yeah. I mean, I like those movies too. It's like
I'm just breaking his balls more than anything,
I don't think I can make a movie like that. Like I've tried to do stuff that's more serious and stuff, and it's like it always ends up goofy. So I'm just like,
this other movie, Contracted, that was
That wasn't goofy.
okay, good.
Goofy.
The soundtrack to that is freaking really good. Even though it's not out, but it's anyway. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Good.
So did Destroy All Neighbors? Did it get a theatrical release?
Yeah, I mean, like technically, I mean, the Alamo Drafthouse showed it for a week, but like a bunch. I feel like it was like 20 theaters or something. So,
here we go.
Hopefully, people got to see.
Patricia says, "Josh, what type of movie would you like to direct next? You've done a good variety of different types of movies." Yeah, these two that I watched couldn't be much more different if they tried.
Well, it's funny because the next one I have coming out is a documentary about the comedian Gallagher.
That's what it was in his IMDb you were talking about.
Yeah, and that's a whole other. I mean, that's a documentary.
Did you grow up a fan of that guy, Gallagher?
Yeah, I mean, I have conflicting feelings about him because I followed him around for like the last 7 years of his life.
Oh wow!
I mean, I think he's an absolute genius. Like I do love the guy, but he was also very difficult to be around.
I met him in Cleveland. I think I met him because didn't his brother do his act too?
Yeah.
He was more smaller scale.
Marketed as Gallagher. Looked like Gallagher.
And I tracked his brother down too. It's in the movie.
Oh, cool!
Very exciting. But to answer the question of what I would do next, I mean, I have a bunch of scripts that I want to get made. There's one called Sewer Babies. That's like
sounds like a Patricia movie. Sounds like something to be down for.
It's like Gremlins on a college campus.
Sewer Babies. I'm
I've got one.
I'm sold.
We got one called Deathmatch Supreme. That's like it's like Iron Claw. Iron Claw meets like Evil Dead, like a bunch of like zombie wrestlers kind of come back from the dead.
Say no more. We're huge wrestling fans, but we're huge zombie fans. Mixing together, you probably got something.
It's wild how many guests we've had either have a background in wrestling or are also big fans.
Yeah.
Wrestling and horror just kind of
it's a weird
together. Yeah.
I think it's interesting because I liked wrestling as a kid, and I don't know, like in the 80s and stuff, but like I've been kind of getting back into it with this script because it's written by Ryan Nemeth and his brother's Nick Nemeth.
Ryan Nemeth, he lives down the street from here. He grew up down the street.
Cool.
Yeah,
Dolph Ziggler's brother.
Is Ryan Dolph or that's Dolph's brother?
Dolph is Nick.
Nick Nemeth. Yeah. But nevertheless, they went to St. Ed's.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So it's a movie that would star them.
I was just going to suggest, like in the Cleveland wrestling scene, I have lots of wrestling friends that could hook you up with. But they know all of those same guys, so
that'd be amazing.
And Dolph is very, very hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he's so fun. Both those guys.
Yeah. So they know all the guys I know, except for they know them better. So you won't need me for that.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting just how I don't know, like how horror and wrestling. Like when it's really good, it's amazing, and when it's bad, it's also amazing.
Right? Absolutely. Yeah, I love a good bad horror movie.
Yeah, I feel like horror and wrestling fans they're willing to like suspend a lot of disbelief and just like
it's that middle ground
they're in for the ride. Yeah,
where it's just okay. That's what you don't want.
Yeah, you don't want that, but you want
an A or an F.
Oh, I can't believe there was a 90-year-old. Like I just went to like a little person wrestling thing the other day.
Oh yeah. We have those here sometimes. I haven't gotten one, but I hear they're a riot.
The greatest night of my life. It was amazing.
Have you ever met Hornswoggle?
No.
Used to be in the WWE.
Dylan.
Dylan Postle. He was in a horror film. He was in the Leprechaun remake.
Right.
Yeah. So it's horrible. Don't ever watch it.
Oh, Leprechaun Returns?
Yeah, the one that was produced by the WWE. That's the only reason he was in it.
All right, that was Origins, I think.
Origins, yeah.
That's
not good.
What's funny about the one I saw.
Awesome. If you ever get a chance to meet that guy is a freaking riot.
He's really nice too.
I would love
to. And he's around a lot of Nick and Ryan definitely know him. So if you need a little person for your movie when you do the zombie movie, Dylan will be ecstatic to do it. He would love to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to. Yeah, it's funny because there's some little guys who I've seen that like are really technically skilled and can fly around, and it's amazing. But the show that I saw, they had like a regular size guy, and all of their like acrobatics was just this guy kind of picking them up and like flipping them over and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like when I would like make my kids fly around.
Dylan can do some-
But still, it's the greatest thing.
Yeah, Dylan ain't doing acrobatic shit though.
No, but he can do take bumps and do.
I think
stunts.
he's like 4 foot tall and about 4 foot wide, man.
Anymore.
He's a big dude.
Yeah. Yeah. If he was a little leaner, he could stunt double for like
He's seriously
kids.
so fun though. Like he's such a riot, man. And very witty, like off top of his head, and just a funny guy.
Yeah,
they are perfect. What does it say? Oh, escapism. Yeah. Oh man, let's see what else we got. You guys got other questions for Josh? Fire away while I'm looking to see what else I got on this paper.
The scene. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
Oh no.
You go ahead, Brewster.
All right. Right before Vlad gets decapitated, it was kind of like a little musical number with Alex bouncing around all over the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess that it kind of explains. I mean, was that him in the suit? Considering what you told me earlier. About,
Oh yeah.
So that was him doing all that.
Yeah.
And did he just really just get into it, or
he got so into it? I mean, he's like, again, he's such a consummate performer, actor, theater actor. Like in his office, he has this thing where he would pick two animals to be part of like how he moves his body. And I think it was like one animal was like a warthog, and then the other was like an octopus. So I think that like, informed his sort of like crazy flopping around or whatever. But yeah, he had a blast doing that.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast with him and Jonah talking about the film earlier. So I do Lyft. Whenever I'm going to have a guest on, I fire up a couple podcasts, and when I'm driving, I listen to them so my Lyft riders get to hear.
Oh, that's great.
Stuff, so.
Nice. What's funny about that too is I don't know if I talked about this anywhere, but he like Alex, for whatever reason, like we were starting to rehearse that scene. We're building the sets, and for whatever reason, Alex was like, "I think I should be bigger than Jonah." Like that. Okay, And now after having done the movie with him, I would just be like, "No, you're shorter than him. That is impossible." No, but at the time, I was just so like, it's, he's a lovely guy, but he's Ted or Bill or whichever
whichever one he is.
He's
Bill. He's Bill. Yeah.
Bill S. Preston Esquire.
So it's like, I was very intimidated. I didn't want to like push back on him too much. So he was like, he's like, yeah, we'll like put apple boxes and I'll walk around and it'll be like Clifford, but in reverse or whatever.
Him being short totally added to it, man.
And so we tried it, and I was like, it was a bad idea. And so we like tried it, and it just didn't make any sense. And it was funnier to play the opposite, like to have the low status, the weakling guy be tall and the scary guy be short.
Yeah, it definitely worked out a lot better that way for sure. For sure. Gallagher Doc, we talked about that.
Yeah, I don't know. He mentioned Clifford, so all I'm thinking about is Larry the Scary Rex in my head right now. That theme song.
Oh yeah.
So was there ever any Destroy All Neighbors merchandise made for this? I seen Christian Calloway got a Twin Peaks figure.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I was like, I reached out to people that made that. I was like, I'd buy one in a second if it was Augie. I'm not a Twin Peaks guy. See, Jared Crank, he is a Twin Peaks guy.
Am I.
So are you? Exactly. Like that kind of stuff.
What do we have the album. We have there were a lot of shirts that Creeperama did.
Creeperama?
But again, write your congressman. Right. It's not a bad idea if you guys want to like ask Vinegar Syndrome to make more, or ask Mondo to make more records, or Creeperama to make more shirts. Like
oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm gonna search out that vinyl some way.
Yeah.
Even though I couldn't get it in the bundle.
But I definitely
got
I would love to have action figures, and that was
such an action figure-y kind of movie,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a big thing that Gabe kept bringing up as we were developing it. Is he was he kept talking about silhouettes. What is the silhouette of each character? And I spent some time with Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse,
Yeah,
as one does. And like one of the best pieces of advice that he had was like what's the Funko Pop? Like what's the action figure going to be?
Yep.
For whatever,
if there's ever anybody that knows marketing,
Yeah, I was just going to
it's
say
that guy.
Say what you will about their music. I'm not a fan, but that guy is a genius.
They made
when it comes to
millions
marketing.
selling stuff
Yep.
all themselves.
Yep.
They know their stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And my friend that does the wrestling actually does like when they do the their big festival
Gathering of the Juggernaut. Yeah.
They bring my guys in to do their thing. It's Absolute Intense Wrestling in Cleveland,
AIW, yep.
which all the big wrestlers like Daniel Bryan, Brian Danielson, whatever he's called nowadays, he came through there. Seth Rollins, like all these guys, and Nick Nemeth would go to shows and he would
do comedy.
He would go to shows and wear luchador masks. So they wouldn't know it was him, but he goes just to watch. So yeah, if you ever get the wrestling movie off the ground, man, we have wrestlers that
I love it.
A have acted, and B, Nick Nemeth could vouch for.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Didn't they have that one movie, that Big Money Hustlers or something?
Yeah. Big Money Hustlers and Big Money Rustlers, ICP.
Yeah,
they did both.
Western.
Yeah. They were talking about doing like a space one or something. Like
of course.
Everybody
I'd buy
has
it.
to go to space.
Everybody has to go to space at some point. Hellraiser in space and
Gabe Bartalos, our effects guy. He worked on Big Money Rustlers.
Okay.
There's a character that has a big stinky foot, and
I remember that.
So he has that in his office.
He has a foot in his office.
Yeah, he has the big. Yeah, those movies are so funny. I think they're way funnier than you'd think they would be.
Brewster's a huge juggalette.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen like? There's a moment in Big Money Hustlers where like Shaggy, it's like he's in bed with a girl and then he gets up to walk away, but when he walks away, they cut to like a total muscle guy walking away.
Yeah,
those guys are kind of geniuses.
Yeah, they're
also insane. I almost did a documentary with those guys, but it kind of
it could be fun. Yeah, those guys are something else for sure. I've met them both before. They're good dudes.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, I don't have any more questions. I don't think so.
Are they not doing that gathering anymore?
No, they're doing it.
I thought they said one of them was going to.
Well, one of them, there was Jay was like not able to do stuff, but then now he's doing stuff. So I don't know. They did one of the gatherings. He was there, but he wasn't performing.
Oh,
yeah, I was there. I was there when because they flew me out for it, which is awesome.
Oh, cool! Hell yeah!
And so I was because we were going to do this documentary. So I filmed him making his speech about like how he announced like his health problems that he had, and that they were gonna sort of like slow things down. But I don't know. I mean, knowing him, I don't think
the coolest ICP story I ever heard was. They were at Terry Funk's house.
Oh yeah.
And Terry did something for them. He didn't want them to pay him. Mm-hmm. I don't remember exactly what it was. And his wife made chili, and they all ate the chili. And he was telling them, like, you guys don't pay me. I don't want you to pay me, blah, blah, blah. So when they put the bowl up, they put, like, a big fat stack of money in there and just left.
Oh.
Yeah, those guys are good dudes, yeah. So you guys got any other questions for Josh? I think I've ran.
I think we're good.
You ran out of steam, did you?
What's that? You guys are good? You guys nothing else?
Well, I was gonna say, just even if we do continue, let everybody know where they can follow you, like online.
Oh yeah,
it's about stuff like this.
I try to get that in 4 weeks.
I'm on Instagram. I think it's the best Josh Forbes or best Josh Forbes.
Best one I ever met.
One or the other.
Yeah, because other people, there's others, but come on.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looking up right now.
Now I'm opening up my thing. At best Josh Forbes. Yeah. There you go. Got it. Nailed it. This is why I'm so successful.
Are you like holding up the shocker in that picture?
Yeah, Yes.
Nice. Now I have to follow you on that
He's
one.
like,
just for that.
yes.
He was going to pretend like he had no idea what you were
See,
talking about.
Now, so I don't. So like I said, we've never done TikTok, but we're thinking about doing that. If I do one under my name, just so I don't get confused, I won't put best. I'll put least worst. Right.
At least, yeah. Oh, that's
our
good.
goal.
Yeah.
That's our goal with this podcast.
Not
is
to be
not
the
to be the
best.
best because we'll never get there.
Least
We just
worst.
want to be the least worst. We want
Yeah.
somebody to be worse than us.
Or just do the best worst. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever it is. We just don't want to be last. We're not going to be first. We've accepted that.
Yeah.
And people will have an expectation out of us if we strive to be the best.
Yes.
We don't want that pressure, you know?
See, I figured by bringing me on, you guys are trying to get canceled.
Oh.
That's it. This is his first show.
You should have heard him on the wrestling podcast.
Oh, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, because we were doing a wrestling version of this show, which we might start up again soon.
Mhm.
We do it from time to time. It's good stuff. But
How did you guys get into podcasting, or how did this
start? That is a great story.
That is a good one.
So this started because we're horror fans. We go to horror conventions, blah blah blah. Well, there was this guy that did this horror convention in Pennsylvania where I bought tickets for, and hundreds of other people bought tickets for it. And then the day of the event, he canceled the show. He also does a podcast. So I decided I wanted to do a podcast in horror to make sure that if this guy ever tried to do this again, I'd have some kind of a voice,
a platform
to tell people to fuck that guy. That is really how it started in a sense. And then get past that. But I needed to acquire the voice and then like develop a following. So that way, if he ever decides to try to do an event again, I could preach about how shitty it is and how, it was insane. You know, we get to Pennsylvania, and my son is autistic.
Yeah.
He's a big horror fan. Mm-hmm. And I told him Kane Hodder, it's supposed to be dinner with Kane Hodder. That's the event.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I told him that we're going to go meet Kane Hodder, and he's so excited. And me and him, I work a lot, so we don't get a lot of time to do things together. So we take this 7-hour trip cross country.
Yeah.
And like he texted me before the event, like, hey, I might lose the venue, blah, blah, blah. I donated some money to help the venue out. Adam Marcus, who directed Jason Goes to Hell, he was also involved in the event.
Yeah.
And I found out later, he paid for the venue to make sure it happened. And, because he was hearing the same things I was. And I was like, dude, if I give you this money, you got to guarantee me this thing's going to happen because blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I get to the thing. I'm at lunch with my son, get a message on my phone, event's canceled. It's like hours away. I'm like, what the hell? So Adam Marcus actually calls me on my phone. I didn't know him then, but I know him pretty good now. And he was like, I heard about the situation. I'm actually in town. Kane's in town.
They're already in town.
This is all messed up. If I have to have your son up to my hotel room to meet him, we're going to do that. And they ended up working out a deal where we went to the hockey game that night in a little AHL minor league hockey game. And Kane Hodder was at this event too. And I guess he knew the owners of the thing, talked the owners of the hockey team into having a makeshift convention in the lobby of the
next morning.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
It worked out so good. And I met all kinds of cool people from this. And I got to go to, we went to the Camp Crystal Lake. The people that were running that sent my kid tickets for that so he could do that. And
oh my gosh,
so many good things happened to me about it. So I'm not too mad about it. I just want to make sure that, the original idea was to make sure that this never happened again to somebody else. But again, we're past that now. We just like to do it.
And here's the beauty of it, though. Even though we're nowhere near the worst or nowhere near the best, or the worst, a lot more people watch our show than his.
Yeah, that's always cool.
That has happened. We didn't intend for that to happen.
Yeah, it just.
Oh, actually, we definitely intended to have more people.
The cream rises to the top. Yeah,
that's what they say.
We're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. But hey, Josh, just want to say, man, it's been a pleasure having you on. We want to thank you so much for coming on. And if you want to, you can go in the archives and see Christian's appearance on the show. That was fun.
Oh,
and
for sure. Well,
anybody else that's a fan of Destroy All Neighbors can check that out.
Yeah, he was a fun interview.
Yeah, he's such a good dude. He's like he's not what you would expect when you see his character and then actually talk to him. He's so professional. Almost.
He was genuinely excited too when he found out he won the award.
He was going to put it on his IMDb, but he couldn't do it because we didn't have an IMDb, and he was going to help us out with that. You know, it's like.
I think I posted about it too, or something like.
Oh yeah, man.
He came on here and did an acceptance speech, and
that's one of our best shows, our 2024 year in review shows.
Yeah,
you want to check that out.
That
we also did one or maybe even two with him, just strictly being the interview.
Yeah.
But on that one, we had Ari Lehman came on, Brett Wagner came on. We had a bunch of guys on to help us present the awards, and I produced that and got that all together in a matter of like hours, because we were just going to read lists of like what our favorite movies were. Right. And then it was like, I'll shoot this guy a text, see if he can come on. And then this guy said he wants to come on. And this guy said he wants to do it. And it just turned into this really awesome organic thing. I'm very proud of it.
We had a Jason and a Leatherface back to back.
Yeah, you can check that out. And you make this wrestling zombie movie, and we might have you back on to accept an award for that.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
So we usually run for an hour, and it's like an hour and 20 minutes. So we're going to get out of here. But thanks again, Josh, for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. And next week, we're going to do a Friday 13th special. Don't know if anybody's going to be on for that. Don't know what's going on for that. But, yeah, we're going to get the hell out of here, man. But thanks again, Josh. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
All right. Oh, didn't mean to cut you off. All right. Thanks, man. All right, man. How was that? How was that for your first show, Brewster?
I felt good. I mean,
first live show, because you did the tape show.
Yeah.
Did it go pretty good?
I mean, if you guys liked it, I'm good with it.
Oh no, I had a great time. Josh is awesome, man. It was a good time talking to him. See, the thing is, and like,
are we still live, by the way?
Yeah,
we're still live. Okay. We're still on the air. We're still on the air.
Like, I wanted to say something.
I know. Fuck that. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So it took a while, and it's going to be a transition period having you on, for me to stop stepping all over Ryan's toes. Like, he would try to say something, and there's one show, it's the Friday 13th Part 2 episode, where he's about to fucking just lose his mind, and I could see it. And then when I would listen to back to, because I would do the audio version then, which we're starting off again on Spreaker. And I'm like, God damn, man, I just like fuck you up like every time, that sucks. So he eventually got this little hourglass gimmick, and he's like, I don't know what to do with this. And I was like, what we could do with that? Whenever you want to get something in and I'm talking too much or talking over you, bring that thing out, and you got 60 seconds and I won't say a word.
Because it was a 1 minute hourglass.
And it kind of worked out, and he hasn't done it in a while. But
my cat broke that hourglass.
Oh, there you go.
Same cat that ate the mouse last night.
I can just picture.
At
least he didn't eat the sand out of it.
Yeah. I could just picture Rick going on, and he finally goes over to ask Ryan his opinion. Ryan's just sitting there.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't an interview. This was just like a review of the movie, and it was just like he was like, Jesus.
No, hey, I'm the new guy on this show, man. I mean, I got
you gotta muscle your shit in. But I'll eventually, it took me time, but I got into I think I got into a decent rhythm with Ryan, and I don't step all over him as much as I used to.
I intended on that hourglass, right? Rick's quiet time.
I'll have to pick one of those up.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so anywho, so we're gonna get the hell out of here. Those of you that are still watching, you should be watching Cinenerds, the Cinenerds podcast, and the Dive. Watch the Hitcher on the Dive, check them out. We didn't even mention our sponsors. We got sponsors. See, I got CSR Collectibles. You could order some stuff from them. Yeah, down over there somewhere. And use the promo code Enchiladas. We got the B Stream over here that from the Talking Tapes Collective, which is over there. And what's the promo codes for B Stream to get you a discount on B Stream?
Talking Tapes. It's 50% off a month or year, whichever you choose.
Okay, so put Talking Tapes in there. B Stream's pretty cool, man. They got some really cool movies on there, so check them out. And it's relatively cheap even without the discount. What is it, $7.99 a month, $7.99
something like
a year?
that, yeah. And there's the Hive community, which is like the social media aspect of it with no algorithm and uncensored anti-Karen comedy, which is all about me. So I'm cool with that.
Awesome.
And then if you, I think me and Cass are going to do something for Talking Tapes, but I know on my page, if you do get the trivia question right, you get a month free of the B Stream.
And that's at Brewster Vision, right? No,
just my Facebook page. Yeah. You'll tag me in, I'm sure.
So cool.
Hessicool.
You got Turkish?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't know. He looks like he's some kind of Eastern European guy.
He is smoking cigarettes too.
Yeah. I hear tell from the last time we talked that he's Italian. I didn't know what it was before. Somebody asked me that. Somebody said, "What is that guy?" I said, "I don't know. Man. I'm not even sure.
Human.
I don't even know what his real
right?
name is. I don't even know what his real name is, let alone his ethnicity."
My feelings are getting hurt left and right. I heard Ryan last episode saying he's seen better looking guys. I mean, that hit me right in the feels, buddy. I mean, it was straight to the ears, right to the heart. You know, I mean,
well, I just 5 minutes before that recorded an episode with Ethan from The Essentials, and he's the best looking guy there is. So
I'll take your word for it. I'm not gonna go creep on somebody I haven't met. That's just juvenile.
Oh, Ziggy, I didn't even see this. He says, "Fuck that dude." And that's about the
Jimmy J.
Yeah, Jimmy J. It's not about Josh.
Tiki's too.
Yeah, we hate him. Yes, we do. Are your comments showing up? Yes, they are. I'm sorry, Patricia. No, I'm not going to be going to the con this weekend. I didn't. I couldn't get that in, while Dude was talking. But no, I'm not going to be going to the con this weekend because I am poor.
I'm probably going to go to that Friday the 13th thing in Barberton, though.
Yeah,
I will probably.
That's next week. And I'm speaking of Friday the 13th. There's another thing I had on my notes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Friday the 13th, we're going to have the special show here on the 12th, Thursday the 12th. Yeah. And I am going to be going to Factory of Terror without Brewster because of miscommunication.
Yeah, you use proper pronunciation when you're texting next time.
I think I did, but that's.
Oh, you think you did? Okay, if I read it backwards in algorithms and stuff. I was trying to decipher National Treasure there, for Christ's sake.
And you were saying that on that other show before that text, weren't you?
I think that was just our group chat.
You said that when you were on.
The Horrorcraft podcast. I'm trying to look at it, and I'm like, it's run-on sentences or something,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, whatever. Summer Screams, yes, Summer Screams. That we are going to be doing some stuff for that with at the hotel. What's that hotel horror thing? Going to be meeting the director and actor from. I always forget the name of the movie, but it's Jason versus Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
And those guys are going to be on sometime soon. They are not going to be on the Thursday the 12th show because they have something going on.
Or the 19th, because that's Crank
19th,
show.
Crank as fuck. Yeah, we're going to do the horror, What is Horror show. And that is going to be a really fun one. I think the way that's going to go is like I will mediate the thing and then like shoot questions, like interview the three of you. And boom, 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 going back and forth.
You see, you'll get used to this. Mr. Paulton playing Switzerland over here.
Oh, I mean, yeah, just like you guys have
this
stronger opinions.
This guy,
I'm gonna be the host. You're gonna be the guest.
He volunteers me for trivia battles with other people.
Well, wait.
He's like, he comes up. Oh, we should do trivia. Ryan will do it.
I can't write the questions and answer the questions. It's a little unfair.
Here's my question, though. How are any of the three of us supposed to get to anything if you're still talking? Or is that where we pull out the hourglass?
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
See, he already understands.
So we got about an hour show. We got about 50 minutes of Rick talking, and then we all get, 3.5 minutes to give our opinion.
All right, that's it. That's why I get paid the big dollars, $3.86.
Yeah, I want a third of that. All right, it's only
you get a third of it, and a third of the T-shirts. So make sure you promote the fuck out of those when they come out.
Wait till we have Vincent DeSanti on again, and have Rick ask him questions, and then we'll just be here.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get the three of you on Curse Your Luck. We'd love to do that. And last time I was on Curse Your Luck, I had to throw questions because I wanted other people to answer some stuff. Yeah, it was murder. Dude, I am a trivia king, dude. I am a beast at trivia. I am, dude. I am, man. I know a lot about it.
There was a guy.
My memory isn't as good as it used to be, so I can't tell you. Like, I used to be able to tell you, like, baseball lineups from 30 years ago.
He can still do that.
He's autistic.
What?
He's just never been diagnosed. It's not a bad thing. It's a thing.
I'm artistic.
Well, you're that too. He has this thing where he gets hyper fixated on things, and when he does, he learns literally every little thing about it.
Obsession.
That is why I gave him the password to StreamYard, but it didn't work because he didn't get hyper fixated on StreamYard. Now, had he done that, we would know everything. That was my goal. Like roller coasters. Last year, he started riding roller coasters. This guy could tell you all the dimensions of every roller coaster around the country. I'm not lying. Am I exaggerating even a little bit?
No.
So you have like an obsessive personality. Once you find something, you need to know everything about it.
Gloms on this stuff, and he will literally learn every little thing about it.
Fascinating.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
If he can smoke, I can eat chips.
Karen, hey, what's up? Hey, Karen, we're wrapping it up tonight, actually, but Friday the 13th show next week, and Friday the 13th show next week, and you can watch this again on the page, and or you can listen to it on Spreaker, and Siren's Curse opens June 28th.
That's right.
You'll be in Cleveland on that day, though, Zig, so we won't be able to go to that. And yeah.
Who won't be in Cleveland?
No, Zig will be in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a thing with his kid, and he's coming to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking him out to dinner or lunch, whichever we decide to do.
Okay.
Where he will get a pepperoni pizza, no doubt, because that's what he does. And yeah, may stick for Sunday. Yeah, I'll be off on Sunday. Maybe me and you will ride up on the way back Sunday. Maybe we could do the Cedar Point Siren's Curse.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And Rob Dowell says can't wait.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Oh yeah, happy early birthday, but we'll remember to say it again on that day. Karen, we got a new logo coming up. Let me show you this. And for those of you that maybe didn't see earlier, it's gonna be on t-shirts and stuff. And there it is, a new updated version of our logo. What do you think about that, guys? Those of you that are still watching, Of the Dead Designs, it does a bunch of wrestling t-shirts and stuff like that. We're going to have that on t-shirts because I tried to put the old logo on t-shirts, but it looks bootleg as hell. It doesn't work on a t-shirt because the resolution is real shitty in the photo. Mm-hmm. So this ended up working better because I like this picture better. And I like how it's the same that we've always had, just enhanced. A better version of it. Like you know, because we had our brand has been developed with this other thing, you know, so. And let's see. Rebecca says looks good. And Ziggy says nice. And yeah, how can I get one? The logo's not finished yet, Karen. It will be finished probably sometime this week. And when it is finished, I'm going to upload it on one of those t-shirt gimmick websites. The link will be on the page. You click the link, you order the t-shirt shows up at your house. We get like $2 or $3. We don't have to buy t-shirts to do it, so it makes it awesome. And right on, yeah, message me, send me a message. You already have a Death Curse Society shirt. I got a collection of those. I got like 6 of them. Speaking of Death Curse Society, right now through the month of June, they are running a special on their Pride shirts. Happy Pride Month to everybody. They are giving you $5 off their Pride shirt, which I ordered a couple days ago. Should be here any day now because you. Just like what I'm talking about for our shirts. You'll order it, they'll print it, they'll send it. Bada bing, bada boom, good stuff. And they have one that has Death Curse Society logo, and it has like it's a rainbow Death Curse Society logo. You can get it any color. I got it in a really like this light blue color. It looks pretty cool. I recommend you guys do the same thing. And I guess that's it. I guess anybody got anything else they want to add?
Yeah. Next time somebody asks you for a ride to the airport, it's okay to say no.
We're on the airport.
It's okay to say no.
I think this is going to be a gimmick for a while.
That's fine.
And there goes the neighbor.
You got something, Brewster?
Just the usual line if you want me to say
it.
Yeah,
sign off. We got to sign off.
All right. Stay cool, Freaky Frighteners.
There it is. And we are out of here. We'll see you guys next Thursday.